Hello, Thrifty music collectors, people in the VC, VK, those watching on YouTube, especially those of you in the Facebook group Thrifty Music Collectors. I'm Tim. This is it's Monday, so this is another episode of Tim's Thrifty Music. Welcome to my music cell or to the music cell. And past week, I haven't listened to as much. It was a busy week. And also we had a few stronger thunderstorms, so it cut down my listening time, and also I had to do some traveling back and forth between places, and also with my health at times. So overall, that cut down on my listening time. But again, it was another week with just vinyl. I haven't had a chance to unpack my cassettes yet. I should have a chance to do that in a couple weeks after this quarter's done with classes. Then I'll have a couple weeks where I can unpack stuff like that. So with all that said, I'll start showing what I have listened to over the past week. First off, Bobby Vinton's greatest hits. Can't remember when this was. I know this was like 65 at the latest. I think it was actually like 62 or 63, of course. A lot of you probably remember Bobby Vinton's some of Bobby Vinton's hits like Blue Velvet and Roses Are Red. And this is just a lot of his hits from like the late 50s, early 60s. And this is on Epic Records. And here's another one that's from a little earlier than that. It's on Epic also. They're both stereo. This is Blue Velvet. It's on Epic. Of course, it has its song Blue Velvet on it. The interesting thing about this album is every song on this album, in the title of the song, every song that in the title has the word blue in it. Next up, another one album from the 60s. The Ventures, Twist Party Volume 2. Yes, it's it's not quite all instrumental, but it's mainly instrumental, and it's just a lot of dance music to it. It's a pretty good album. Of course, a lot of you have heard like Walk Don't Run and some of the other dance songs that they've had from back in the 60s. This one is on Dalton Records. I'm trying to remember when this was from. It was like 62 or 65 also. So you notice a lot of these I've been showing have been from the 60s. Another one, I think if I remember right, this one's from 68. See, all of these have been in stereo so far. This is Bobby V, Come Back When You Grow Up. Yes, this is stereo also. Of course, it has a hit, Come Back When You Grow Up, on it. And it's just a good album from that time period. This one's from like 72. It's more of a comedy one. It's Von Meter, and it's called The Second Coming. He was trying to have a comeback album, you could say. He had a hit in the 60s with an album called The First Family, where it was like a parody of like John F. Kennedy, and his popularity was waning some, so he's trying to come back with this one. And this one, he's trying to, was trying to be Jesus coming back. By Jesus, I mean Jesus Christ. And some of the stuff, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, but sometimes you have to wonder about some of the stuff they have in here. And this one is on Kama Sutra label. I like a lot of the stuff on that label. Of course, they're part of the Buddha label also. Okay, next one. Okay, Johnny Van Zant Band, round 2. This is 1981 on Polydor Records. This is just a good all-out rocking record with Johnny Van Zant and his band, of course. Now I'm trying to remember how he was, of course, of the Van Zant, famous Van Zant family. Yeah, and I just enjoyed this record. It rocks. Like I said, it's on Polydor Records from 81. The next, it's pretty much the same. It's the same band as the last one, same members even, but they changed the name to Van Zant. It's on Geffen Records, and it's from is it 85 on Geffen, and they changed the name to Van Zant. And I think it was Midnight Sensation that I had heard on the radio, played on the radio at times off this one. This is another good all-out rocking album, and I enjoy it also. This one is one that I found in a thrift store. I know that. It's Gino Finelli, Powerful People. It's from like it's from 74. Trying to remember what label it's trying to see. Okay, it's on A&M. I didn't realize he had stuff from that early. Out that early. I know he had some hits like in the late 70s or early 80s. But just listening to it, I just for some reason I did enjoy this album. I figured when I got it, I got it for like under 50 cents, so I figured I'd give it a try, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Now for a rocker, a lot of people like Van Halen, 5150, of course, an album that a lot of people like. Also, people refer to it as Van Hagar here because it's the first album with Sammy Hagar as lead singer in place of David Lee Roth. It's on Warner Brothers, of course. It's from 86. And of course, I don't really need to say much about this. Of course, they had several hits off this one. And of course, speaking of David Lee Roth era of Van Halen, here's 1984, his last one before Sammy Hagar was lead singer. This had several hits on it, of course, like Jump and Panama and Hot for Teacher. Of course, this is from 1984 on Warner Brothers. And another Van Halen. This is Van Halen 2. Also on Warner Brothers. Trying to remember the year on this one. Trying to see it. Don't have the light on in the room. I can't see it as well Let me just check it this way. The cover's not in the greatest shape, but it plays the album final plays good. And it's from '79. And of course it has a few hits on it. Of course the song I like on it is Beautiful Girls. Okay, here's U2. It's a live Under a Blood Red Sky. It says it's a mini LP. It's just a single LP. And it's on Island Records. It's from 1983. It was recorded live at okay. It says it was recorded in Boston, Massachusetts on May 6, 1983. I was mistaken because I was thinking it was recorded at Red Rocks. Wait. Oh yeah, this one wasn't recorded at Red Rocks. Okay, I was just making sure of that on here. But this one of course, has their well-known songs of Sunday Bloody Sunday and New Year's Day on it. Of course, this is a live recording. Like I said, it's from 1983 on Island Records. Next is Utopia, The Face of the Music. This is from 1980 on Bearsville Records. On this one, they have more of a Beatles sound to them. And I just thoroughly enjoyed this album. Just listening to it through the full album, it was just a good album to listen to, in my opinion. Of course, with Todd Rundgren, you can't go wrong. Next up, a group I saw back in June of 1979. That's UFO. The album is Force It. Of course, this was with Michael Schenker on guitar. This is on Chrysalis Records. It's from 1975, and this has a Choot Choot on it, and Mother Mary, and Let It Roll. It's just a good all-out hard rocker. And here's one from '78 by UFO, Obsession. And of course, this has Only You Can Rock Me, which is one of my favorite songs by them. It's not the favorite, but it's one of my top 5, I'd say, by them. And it's it's on Chrysalis. It's from '78. I think I said, or if I remember right, it's '78. I can't see right now, but if I remember right, that's '78. And then this one's from 1980 on Chrysalis. It's UFO, No Place to Run. It's after Michael Schenker left. It has on guitar on this one. It has Paul Chapman, but it's still a good hard rocker. But still, I like the Michael Schenker era with them. But still, this is still a good hard rocker. Next up is Tracy Ullman from 1983 on MCA Records. This is You Broke My Heart in 17 Places. I know she had a hit on with the song They Don't Know off of this album. And in the late 80s and into 1990s, she had, for 4 seasons, she had a variety show on Fox, and on her show is where the Simpsons got started. They were just as short on her show, and from there, look at where the Simpsons have gone from there, and how long that they've been on the air. But she was a good comedian, and some of the songs that she covered on here, I was really impressed by some of the stuff she does on here. Sort of like she does a cover of Life is the Rock, but the radio rolled me on here. And I'm always touched by your presence, dear. I used to hearing that done by Blondie. And Oh What a Night. And Bobby's Girl. Next up, The Best of Uriah Heep. This is on Bronze Records. It's from, if I remember right, 75. Can't see that right now, but yeah, it's from on Bronze Records. Of course, it has like Gypsy on it, and Easy Living, and Stealing on here. Okay, Dwight Twilley, Jungle. This one's on EMI America. It's from shoot, where is the date again? It's from the 80s, I know. It's from 1984, but it's a good, solid Dwight Twilley album. And it's another album that I enjoyed. Now this next album is one that it's a good, fun, solid hair metal album from the 80s that it's pretty much a must-have in people's collections. The band is Twisted Sister. The album is Stay Hungry. Yes, this is an album with We're Not Going to Take It and I Want to Rock on it. It's on Atlantic Records. It's from 1984. It's one of those where you just like to turn up to listen to when you're playing it. Yes, it's the and the boys playing. And talk about some classic videos. Okay, this next artist, it's pretty much her first album. It was her, or at least her first. I think if I remember, it was her first album. It was her first hit. Was on here too. That's Bonnie Tyler. It's a Heartache. The title track was her first hit. It's RCA from 1978, and it's a pretty decent album. Of course, It's a Heartache in it. She also does a cover of Living for the City on it, and does a pretty good job on there, and does a cover of Natural Woman, and she does a pretty decent job on here. It's, like I said, it's her debut album, and she does a pretty good job. Now here's one that this is her reissue of her debut album. It's from 1968. when it was originally released. This is a Pickwick reissue. I know a lot of people make fun of her albums because see her stuff in thrift stores all the time. But you don't really see this one in them too often. And some of her music's more like folk on here. And she does some decent covers on here. It's her first album. It's Anne Murray. The title is "What About Me," and she does covers of Joni Mitchell's "Both Sides Now," and she also sings John Denver's "For Baby" on here. She does real good jobs on both those songs. If you haven't heard them, I don't know whether they have them, her covers of her versions of these songs on YouTube or not. But if you can have a chance to can find them or have a chance to hear them somewhere, I'd say check them out. They're pretty good versions of it. Like I said, it's on Pickwick. It was originally released on Ahead Music. Ahead spelled AHED. Okay, this next one's also from 1968. It's Petula Clark Petula. It's on Warner Brothers Records, and this one has a hit set. Don't Give Up and Kiss Me Goodbye. Of course, Petula's the one that had a hit with Downtown on it. But I just like her singing it. I rarely come across her music, and when I came across this for 99 cents, I had to pick it up. It's just music, good 60s pop on here. And this last one I got is from a guy that was on the Laughing Show. The people that are around my age and older remember the show Laughing, and this guy was on there. He was pretty much like a folk singer, is how I'd classify him. And he had a hit in the early 70s that was, but he had, this almost a reissue of his first album. They did this reissue after he had the hit. The performer is Judd Strunk. The name of this album is Mr. Bojangles and Other Favorites. They reissued this album after he had the hit Daisy a Day. After that song's not on this album, but he does like a cover of Mr. Bojangles on here, and this is just an interesting album. He sings various songs on here, including the songs Mr. Bojangles. And like I said, this is early stuff of his on there, so. But like this reissue is from 1973. It's on Harmony Records. It's part of Columbia. And it's from 1973. Well, that's all I have for you this time. Hopefully in a couple weeks I'll be able to unpack my cassettes, and hopefully then after that I'll be able to start having cassettes included in my videos also. So hopefully I'll be able to make another video next Monday. So until next time, take it easy and keep on rocking.